Yeah, over. Okay.
Well, we'll have to jump around a bit more than usual.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Are we off-centered? There we go. All right.
This is what happens when I don't completely check things before I hit the button to start the video. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about whether we were going to take 30 minutes for this one or... Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so one last prayer that's mentioned in the book of Numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what the prayer... it just says prayed, so don't know what the prayer was.
Mentions.
Mentions.
We're doing
Mentions
again.
And yeah, and I guess there really were two, because Numbers 21 and verse 7 doesn't tell us what they prayed to the Lord on that occasion either ways. But
it was a more specific thing, so we already dealt with it.
Pray to the Lord that he takes away the serpents from us. So Moses prayed. So we got that one. But there is one other in Numbers 11. And this one's kind of odd because we looked at Numbers 10 in another lesson where Moses had prayed for God to come go with them, and everything was it seemed like everything was going to be good then because God was going to go with them. Yeah. And then Numbers 11 kicks off. I mean, it's just like it goes from just saying, and the cloud of the Lord was on them by the day, and when they went out of the camp, and when the ark went out, Moses would say, "Rise up, Lord." We talked about this one, let your enemies be scattered, and those that hate you flee before you.
Yeah.
And when it rested, he'd say, "Return, Lord, to the many thousands of Israel." And so it seems like things are good. And then the very next verse,
death.
Numbers 11. And the people complained. How shocking. I know, these people, they never complain. So this is just really a stunning development. Wait, I'm thinking of some different people. I must be thinking of different people. Because they complain all the time. What people? I don't know. Pretty much all people complain.
That's basically the way this works.
People complain. Yeah. All right, so we've got in Numbers 11, and the people complain, and the Lord heard it, and it displeased him, made him angry. I think we've talked about that before, that, you don't want to make God angry.
No, you really don't.
And, I think sometimes...
God is a tough enough person when you're on his good side. That when you get on his bad side, it's just like, why even bother to do anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's not pretty. So, I think in today's society, at least here in the United States, we have for several years now been so focused on God's love, God's mercy, God's grace, God's forgiveness, that sometimes we forget.
He is a jealous God.
Yeah, and when our God is a consuming fire, Hebrews says.
He's in Australia. Sorry.
No, I don't think so. Well, sometimes. Yeah, I guess he's everywhere.
And California.
And all across the desert.
Let's be honest, they need him in California.
Yeah, well, we need him everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
But, and speaking of his fire, because he got angry at the people here, guess what? He started a fire. It says the
we
fire.
Didn't start the fire.
No, but God did.
Always burning since the west. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a different fire. That's the people fire. This is the fire of the Lord. The fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed some in the outer edges of the camp.
I always took that song to actually mean that it's talking about the sun. Like, we didn't start the sun, but it's always been burning since the world's been turning.
Okay, kid. I mean, no.
Really?
This song has nothing to do with the sun. It's talking about the conflict of human history. Well, anyway, it's not even... I mean,
But see, without the sun, we wouldn't have had any conflict in human history because we wouldn't have had any human...
Yeah, but that's not the fire that's talking... Anyway. Can we talk about that another time?
Sure.
We could do a whole video on a separate channel about, misunderstood song lyrics. Some people have done that, I think. But
it wouldn't surprise me.
All right. So, but the fire of the Lord is definitely very different from any Billy Joel songs. And it consumed those that were in the outer edges of the camp.
What about Jerry
And
Lee Lewis? Isn't that his name?
great balls of fire.
I mean, can't you see
like
God just like
at Sodom,
checking?
there were
Yeah.
great
That
balls
was
of
it. That was it.
fire.
That was it.
That may have been what that song was about. Do you think? Could we try to just abuse every songwriter's lyrics to make them about some event in the Bible? We'll have to try that sometime. That's a different video too. All right. So the people cried out to Moses, the ones that were alive, not the ones that were dead.
Well, that's good to know. I like that
Yeah.
distinction.
Yeah. And so Moses prayed to the Lord, and of course,
Reminds me
the
of
fire
Mark
was
Twain,
put out.
where he's like, when one is reading a book, one should always, in a book, there should be live characters and not live characters, and the reader should always be able to tell the difference between the two. However, in James Fenimore Cooper's books, this is not possible.
It's been too long since we've recorded a video, and you are off your rocker. All right. I wonder how this. We should be in a rocker.
I want a rocking chair.
We were in the glider rockers the other time. We could do that again.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So Moses did pray, and the fire was quenched. It went out. It was put out.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is just. They even named the place burning Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them there. And it's like, so this event takes place.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, the fire of the Lord comes and kills people, burns them, and they beg Moses to try to get God to stop this. We're dying here.
Yeah.
You would think that after that, they would, they'd do a little better for a little while. The fear of God is now in them. You would think. After they name the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. You know what the very next verse says?
And the people complained?
Well, actually, it just said, basically. It says they started lusting, desiring for flesh to eat. This when they wanted the meat.
What can I say? I'm a miracle worker.
Yeah. It doesn't take a genius to prophesy what's going to happen during the times of the Israelites heading from Egypt to Canaan.
Especially if you've already read this story a few times.
Yeah, I mean, even if you've read, it's kind of if you've read one chapter, you've read them all, because it's the same thing over. Oh, we remember the fish we ate in Egypt. We remember the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. I like onions and garlic.
The plagues changed, though. So it's nice that, God's looking at, he sees all of time, and he sees, okay, the Israelites are going to be complaining a lot, and for people in the future that are going to be reading the Bible and hearing about my children, it's going to get really boring. So let's do some different plagues each time so they stay interested.
I'm sure that's what he was thinking.
Oh, that's totally what he was thinking.
All right, but so
God likes some variety and uniqueness. Have you ever looked at this world? Exactly.
I have looked at this world.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm glad you have eyes.
As Morgan Freeman's character Hakeem says, Allah loves wondrous variety.
That in
that was in
Robin Hood? Yeah. He also said, move faster, which is what we need to do. Read the things.
Yeah. Well, I've read the things. So we have this situation. Again and again, this happens. The people make God mad. He sends a plague. Moses prays, or God's going to destroy them. Moses prays. And we don't even know how many people this fire killed. It was just, and, here's another thing. Stay away from the outer edges of the camp. Stay close to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good. When you're camping, stay close. Don't get on the outer edges. It's a very dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't. It is interesting. I wonder sometimes why God chose the outer edges of the camp and everything, but were the less godly people on the outer edges of the camp? I mean, I would figure it would have been like the younger people would be out there because like the older people got the middle, and it just, as you got new family members, they had to spread out further. I don't know, but it's interesting nonetheless. But yeah, another prayer, another time Moses is praying for God to save the people. I know that's shocking that he would do that.
No,
again.
it was burning.
Save the people from burning. I guess it was
Yes.
burning. Wasn't shocking.
No.
Well, it could have started with a little static electric spark too close to.
Not sure if that
Get
did
oil
anything
container.
shocking. You ever zap anybody with lightning? Because everybody's like, that's what the gods do. That's how they smite people. But like, did God ever do
Did he
anything?
strike anybody with lightning or something?
Because I can't. Just off the top of my head.
The closest, I think, some people think that when Uzzah touched the ark, that he got electrocuted, but we don't really know that. I mean, there was obviously, there's the fire from heaven. I mean, so that's fire, though. I mean, but would somebody think of lightning because lightning comes down, it strikes a tree, and it bursts into flames kind of thing. So, I don't know. Maybe some confusion. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know of a specific time where it says God electrocuted somebody, though. But then again, was electrocuted wasn't really a word because, really they didn't have electricity. So it's kind of a newfangled idea. All right. Well, I think we've taken enough of their time.
Yes, we have. This was a pretty short one.
It would have been like 5 minutes without all of your song references that had nothing to do.
Well, excuse you, but they need to have something to keep their attention from just fire killing people. Because that's
fire
boring,
killing people is everybody loves to watch fire. Fires.
So, there was complaining, and fire killed people, and Moses prayed to God about it.
Fire stopped,
and the fire stopped,
and the people stopped dying.
Complained some more after they stopped dying.
Yeah, it does not seem like a good idea. It's like, did you learn nothing? Nothing from this experience.
I've just got to wonder, they talk about the children of Israel as a group, and they're and the children of Israel complained. I'm just wondering, how many people were there in the camp that were seeing everybody else complaining?
Be quiet. Don't.
What is wrong with you?
Stop. You're going to get us all killed.
Yeah, because since it does it as a group, it's hard to tell those sort of things.
Yeah,
and I do wonder. But anyway.
And I'm sure not everyone complained every single time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of complaining going around.
Complaining is tiring. It takes a lot of energy.
It does.
And, if everybody was complaining about everything all the time, then, children of Israel wouldn't have enough energy to get themselves to the promised land.
They didn't. They died in the wilderness. Anyway.
Explain some things.
All right. So we'll go on into, we'll have a topic next time, and then we'll get on into Deuteronomy as we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we've managed to make it through Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus didn't have any, and Numbers. Woohoo, 4 books. Yay. Right. 4 long books, too. They're long books.
They are pretty long.
There are several other books that are not going to have nearly this many prayers in them.
And then there's Psalms.
I don't know what to do with Psalms, because Psalms is pretty much like all prayers.
I know.
But also Psalms.
Have to do 150.
The good news is we've got some time to figure that out.
Yeah.
And we may just do one of each type. Because there's different types of prayers and Psalms.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, we will see you next time, hopefully.
Yep.
And
see ya.
Hope you learned something, remembered something.
Got distracted and got lost in song lyrics, and hope that's stuck in your head now.
We didn't start the fire.
Great balls of fire.
Mine was better.
Yeah, you're right. I do like that song.
Billy Joel's better. All right, so we'll see you. Bye.